since we were doing a movie about a movie, some of what we were able to do was just sort of turn the camera around. If we wanted to say, oh, well, here's this incredible Hollywood movie that's shooting in this jungle environment, well, that's really what we were. But to build drug compounds and hotels and environments inside, and it was a pretty amazing undertaking.
Most of the forests around here, the jungles, the mountains, that was all DreamWorks money. That was all built by DreamWorks, which is impressive.
They shipped in all this mud, you know, and they brought it in from, I think it was Mexico, really, barges of mud.
We wanted locations that said Vietnam and the Golden Triangle where the movie takes place, but we also wanted very unique locations, places that had not been shot before.
Kauai, which is where we shot the film, has incredible jungle landscapes and mountains.
It was so unrelentingly beautiful, you know, which obviously we appreciated.
Where we were shooting in Hawaii was not like at the beach and, you know, at the Hilton. We were in the interior of the island a lot of the time. You know, they were off the main roads.
We scouted by helicopter, by boat, by ATV.
Second river of the day.
Yeah.
This is where we landed the chopper?
Yeah, right there.
But what about that? There's that ridge, sort of like lower version of that.
Right there.
Sort of in front of it.
Right there.
Frankly, I would sit there going, this is beautiful, but I mean, how do we get here?
No place is going to look right as you're scouting, but you have to imagine what it'll look like once you clear out all the bamboo and clear out the jungle. And we had to create places where trucks and equipment can place and where cranes can work out of, and then build the sets.
John Toll, our cinematographer, you know, he has done a number of war movies. He really has a sense of when we're choosing these locations, what would be a good place to build a building in relation to where the sun went up and down. And he had all these charts and, like, you know, graphs, and some weird graph of like the height of the sun along the horizon based on our latitude and longitude, you know, like some secret program that, you know, Oscar-winning cinematographers have.
This environment continues to be very challenging because of the rain, and you know the soil here is either completely, your shoes are getting sucked off your feet, or it's a dusty nightmare, and there's no kind of in between.
It was so remote and so complete in its realism and isolation, and it was so gnarly and so tough.
You can tell who's been working hard because they're the people that just look like they've, you know, been in quicksand all afternoon. Someone shut that fucking goat up.
I had this running joke that we drew a circle around the wettest spot on Earth, and we decided to pick all our locations within that circle.
See, that's the irony of the movie, really, is like you don't see any rain in the movie. You see there's like one night of rain. But the irony is that, like, it rained every day. We actually turned on the cameras one night when it was raining, and it's like these just monsoon rains would come in. We'd have to stop shooting. And we just said, turn on the camera, let's just get some, you know, because we had the compound lit up at night, and we ended up using one of those shots to sort of establish that it was rain at night, and we decided to put rain in the scene with Cody and Four Leaf when they're tied up in the hut.
I wrote the book as a tribute. I'm a patriot.
Yeah, you're the Milli Vanilli of patriots, okay?
Me and Ben were writing it, you know, it was, you know, we sort of thought, you know, like, oh, little bamboo huts here, and this is the prison camp, and this is the heroin processing plant, and this is, you know, the landing zone. And then we sort of, every set that we would arrive at was just astounding.
You know, Jeff Mann was our production designer, and he and Ben did a tremendous amount of research, and were both very specific in the design of any of the buildings or the environments that existed in Vietnam.
We are at what we're calling the Hot LZ base camp set in the movie. It's been interesting to try to sell the level of opulence and money being spent that actually the viewer can pick up on. We know that it's costing a lot of money when you turn around and see 100 trailers and so on and so forth, but it's nothing beyond the norm for the audience to see. And a lot of people have seen behind-the-scenes coverage of base camps and what's going on behind the scenes. And so we tried to ramp it up here with populating it with lots of extras and military equipment and all the stuff that is hopefully part of the movie that they are going on to make that they never get a chance to make.
Even if you look at the, what was it, 1 week down party or whatever it was, I mean, the detail in that, if you looked in front of the bar, it had everything that that bar should have. If you looked behind the bar, where they wouldn't be shooting, it was stocked like it should be. And every single thing, I've actually never seen a production designer before who had the eye for detail that I could noticeably detect that Jeff Mann has.
Well, seeing as how we're all headless chickens right now, I thought I'd take a little zen moment and work on the napalm bar. Our little palm tree islands, if you notice over here, this will be 1 of 10. They kind of overlap each other, and our jet up here, which flies over and spittles down lighter fluid, flies over, pulled on a string, and then the palm tree line ignites. And you reach through and grab a shot that's on the other side waiting for your brave hand.
Jeff Mann, our production designer, did an incredible job where he built this whole compound that we then eventually blew up.
Where we are sitting, where we built the set, there is a couple of hydroelectric power plants that have been up here since, I think, since the 30s. So the hand of man has had a heavy impact on this area. We're not coming in and cutting, clearing forest that is virginal for the set.
So we ended up bringing in a construction crew, and they went to work, and it took a little over 3 months to build all their sets, build the bridge.
Looks pretty incredible what they've done. I mean, I would buy heroin from this place.